What's up, guys? It's Sam here, and today we're going to be looking at what's happening over the next week with earnings season really starting to kick off, and also what is happening in the market and why is it so down over the last few weeks, and why is it especially down today. We've had a lot in the European markets and also in the American markets. They've been down massively. And as well, just remember, this is not financial advice by any means at all, and remember to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, as it really does help us out an awful lot, and we're really starting to gain a good bit of traction on YouTube at the moment, and it really helps a lot for all your support so far. So look, let's get straight into the video, and we'll start in with a bit of reaction to what's going on in the market at the moment. Right, so guys, here you can see it's been a red day all across the world. All the major indices across Europe and the US and Asia have all been red. So it's especially the markets that we look at are the American markets, is where most of our companies are based. So you can see the Dow is down over 2%, NASDAQ 1%, and S&P 1.59%. And this is following on from last week, where they also finished negative, but this is one of the biggest drops they've had in over 2 months. So this is kind of sparked from a various amount of reasons, from inflation to also rising numbers in the thing that we don't speak about of COVID-19. So they're rising, people are getting scared, and there's also there's inflation matters, which is contributing to people selling off a lot of their riskier assets. So you're seeing a lot of the smaller cap companies go down in valuation, whereas the larger caps generally are kind of holding their own. So people are fleeing to these safer stocks more so than the ones that are known as the blue chip stocks. So we'll go into just a few kind of individual stocks that we kind of look at, that we have as well, and how we kind of see this kind of panning out over the next while. So look, I'll just keep it kind of short and sweet. You can see a lot of the cryptos that I follow here, they're all in the red as well. It's not been a great few weeks for crypto, but I am trying to maintain a positive stance on crypto, and that it will return back to positivity over the next few months. And then just a couple of the stocks that I own, you can see here it's mostly a red day apart from Upwork, but Upwork got hit with a massive minus 70% move last week. So look, it's been a pretty rough week and a half, and look, it's all kind of sparked, I think, from a lot of the fears in inflation and the rising numbers of COVID-19 cases, mainly in Europe, but it's probably going to start spreading to the US as well. But yeah, so they're the main reasons that I think that the market is actually down. So look, we're going to go into now what's coming up in earnings. So earnings season is some of the most important times, especially this year, because you're going to be seeing year over year data from the midst of the pandemic to now, where things are getting a bit more reopened and people are getting more back to normal. So some key stocks in the market are reporting this week, and we're going to go and take a quick look at them. Right, so on the first day we have Tractor Supply reporting, and they're going to be reporting with 4 hours. But see, they're a good company if you're looking to get into agriculture. So agriculture is the backbone of everyone's economy, and look, it's not something that I specifically would be looking at myself, but it is a good company if you are interested in that kind of sector. After hours, you have IBM. They're one of the old tech giants. They're not really too competitive anymore. They still have good revenues and stuff. Some people try to play them as a dividend play, but there wouldn't be one I particularly be looking at either. So look, on Monday it's quiet enough, but as we get into Tuesday, we start getting some of the bigger names reporting earnings. So in the morning we've Halliburton reporting, which is a massive oil company. It'd be very interesting to see how they get on and how they've recovered from year over year data, how the supply and demand of oil has gone over the last few months, and especially comparing it to this time last year, you're going to see massive increases. As we remember, kind of just before this time, oil actually went negative, which was absolutely crazy. After hours, we've got Netflix. So Netflix is going to be very, very interesting. The most perfect thing that possibly could have happened to Netflix happened last year. Everyone forced inside, everyone forced to get on Netflix and have something to do while we're just waiting for this thing to kind of blow over. You have Chipotle, which is a fast food brand in the US. stock price has been absolutely crazy over the last year or so, but look, they're pretty overpriced, I think, for a fast food company. Wouldn't be one I'd particularly be looking at. So Netflix, I think, is extremely important. United Airlines is the first of the airlines to report as well, so that'd be great to see how travel has bounced back in the US, especially as like transatlantic stuff hasn't really got up at all yet. But also, we have a very important one reporting, which is Intuitive Surgical. So they're basically robotics in surgery. So they're a cool company, and their kind of model is that they're going to be having robots eventually completing surgeries for us. So look, that's been one of the best performing stocks over the last few years, and it's definitely one to keep an eye on this time for earnings reports as well. So as we go into Wednesday, we have more of the big guns reporting. The Coca-Cola just before the open at 9:30 in the morning. So yeah, look, Coca-Cola, not one that I'd be looking at myself, but they're a great dividend company, and a lot of people like to play it because of the dividend that it plays off. Johnson & Johnson reporting, massive pharmaceutical. Everyone kind of knows what they are. They're definitely one to play from a dividend point of view, if you are interested in playing it that way. Wouldn't be one I'm personally kind of looking at myself. They're too much of a low risk value play in my personal opinion. And then you have Verizon, the telecommunications giant in the US. They're going to be reporting. They're one I have kind of considered as the rollout of 4G has been coming out over the last while. I do prefer them to the AT&T stock because they're like the second biggest to them. They're definitely one to consider if you do like telecommunications, and they also pay off a nice dividend. So it'll be interesting to see how that rollout is going, and just to see a lot of their numbers and see how fast they've been growing over the last while. So to conclude, the one that I'd actually be looking at on Wednesday is ASML. They're a chip company that's actually headquartered in Europe, and they'll be important to see how the semiconductor issue is going, whether they're actually managing to meet the demand or they have the supply. So that's kind of one that I'd be actually very interested in seeing how they're doing too. So they traded a bit of a premium compared to some of the other kind of chip stocks that you'd be looking at, like Marvell or AMD. But yeah, they're definitely one to keep an eye on as we get into a lot of the semiconductors. That can be a sector to really keep an eye on, as we do know there's this worldwide shortage at the moment. So yeah, definitely one to consider as well. And then as we get into Thursday, we have more of the big guns reporting with AT&T, just kind of touching them briefly as well with Verizon. We have American Airlines Group, same kind of thing as United. It'd be interesting to see how they've gotten on. And then we also have Southwest and Alaska Airlines as well. So yeah, we definitely need to keep an eye on them to see how travel is reopening in the US. You have Nucor, which is one of the biggest steel companies in the world as well, reporting. They've been on an absolute tear since the beginning of 2021, and everyone's going to be talking about the reopening, the infrastructure packages, a lot of the construction all going on. So it's all going to benefit Nucor. And then look, we also have some of the more interesting names to a lot of the retail investors. We have Snapchat and we have Twitter. We also have Samuel Adams, Capital One Finance, and Intel. So these are all big names reporting, and the one that I'd actually most consider out of these is either Samuel Adams or Twitter, just to see how, from Twitter's perspective, how many users they've been adding, how they've been able to grow their revenue, and just keep an eye on that one. And I think I really like it as a social media platform. It has a lot of potential, as it's always in the headlines. People always hear about Twitter. Someone tweeted this, someone tweeted that. So it'd be great to see how they're actually doing and if their users are increasing rapidly, because we know they weren't as impressive in the first quarter of 2021. And also Samuel Adams, they've really been able to build that brand. So Samuel Adams is now a massive worldwide brand, and they've really made that name extremely well. And they're going to be obviously benefiting from places reopening and people going out to bars and restaurants and now being served their drinks in pubs. So that's kind of what we want to keep an eye on for that one as well. And then look, as we go into Friday, one of the big names reporting is Honeywell. So Honeywell are just kind of a company that does everything. They're a massive industrial company. They recently got added to the Dow 30. So look, they're one just to be watching on Friday. But most of the companies all do report between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Look guys, that's just kind of a bit of an overview and some of the ones I'm going going to be looking at myself over this week. Let us know in the comments down below if you have any questions or ones that you are going to be looking at as well. We'd love to hear about all that kind of stuff. Remember to join our free Discord chat in the description down below. And also remember, this is not financial advice, and hit the like button and subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you.